Alright. Oh, Lord. So, this is a video I have to make because, you know, I was really heated in my analysis, or debunking of the Death Battle video. Let me just tackle this point right out the gate. To anyone who commented, "Wow, you're so good at debunking, you only talk about Ichigo." The point of debunking the video was not to wank the hell out of Naruto, it was to tell them how they got Ichigo wrong because Ichigo lost. I am in no position to talk about how strong Naruto is. However, now I've argued a lot. So I've researched the shit about Naruto now. He's pretty damn strong, but still, I'd still beg to differ on the fact that he was by the way, just some Brave Frontier, don't worry about it. I just needed some music in the background because it's pretty bland without me. What was another point that these people came up with? Hold on. Okay, so I'm about to pull up this comment where this man kindly told me 20 of his reasons why Naruto would destroy Ichigo. Or why Ichigo would lose, not destroy. Also, before we start this, I just want to say, hey, look, the video has 2,000 views. I don't mean to say I fucking called it, because this is a relevant topic. Why the hell do you think I have an Undertale video with 800,000 views? Yeah, whatever. Unlike the Undertale video, I actually enjoyed making this one. And to anyone who respectfully argued with me in the comments, I thank you, because it's kind of hard to come by nowadays. Hold on. Oh, hey, there's a comment I didn't see. Oh, just give me a second. I gotta find the right setting here. So, Lonely Pepperoni. I didn't see that. I watched this whole video, lol, PS. Can you please comment the numbers behind Ichigo's attack so I can show my friends that think Naruto will win? I'll get to that point later in the video. Don't worry. I'll talk about tons of TNT, of course. Don't worry. Okay, so Steven Jimenez. These are 20 reasons why I think Naruto wins. 1. Naruto would not be harmed by being near Ichigo since Naruto is not affected by any energy other than Senjutsu. Debatable, honestly. But it says he's not affected by any energy shown in Naruto. Rietsu is something completely not existing in Naruto's universe, and I don't even bring up novel version Ichigo, because novel Ichigo would walk past Naruto, and Naruto would most likely stop existing. That's not trying to wank him, it's just what happens whenever he walks past humans. But that's why I'm not arguing that point. I don't count novel Ichigo, so I won't use him at all. So there's no reason to argue with me about novel Ichigo, just don't. Alright. Okay, so number 1, kinda, yeah, that's cool, whatever. He's still affected by physical, like, taijutsu, I guess you would call it. And one thing real quick is what people don't really get is that a sword is much stronger than hands. Like, if you have a normal person, like, say you have like a goddamn, a featherweight boxer, alright? If he throws a left jab at, no, not a left. If he let's say he's orthodox, so he uses his right hand in the back. So if he throws a right at your head, it's gonna fucking hurt, trust me. I mean, he's a fucking boxer. Doesn't matter that he's flyweight, that shit's gonna hurt. That's weird. I clicked on the thing and my other thing disappeared, I got scared. But, yeah, the point is that's gonna hurt a lot. However, if the same man were holding a katana and swung said katana at your skull with all of his might, just like he would put all of his might behind that punch, he's more likely to kill you with the fucking sword than he is with the hand. Because the sword, it cuts through, it pierces, alright? Sword, a sharpened object is just stronger than blunt force any day. Now, moving on. Number 2. Naruto could not see Ichigo, but he could feel it because he could fight them, the Limbo clones, which were intangible and invisible like the Shinigami. Besides, I could... Okay. So here's the one of the problems that comes in this comment is, instead of saying he says I a lot, but it still means Naruto. It's weird. Besides, he could see Hagoromo, who presented himself in the form of a spirit. Okay, so the thing about the Hagoromo thing is Hagoromo presented himself. Legit, like he made himself visible. That's just something he can do. And it's also because he gave them the chakra and blah blah blah. But in the Naruto universe, it is like shown and stated and shown several times that the only people in the Naruto verse that can interact with actual souls are people with the Rinnegan. Naruto does not have a Rinnegan, sadly. However, you don't need to argue this point with me either, because I don't use this as a point. Alright? Fucking, I never once said that this was a legitimate argument that I would ever use. Because it's not. Who the hell wants to fall back on a point like, oh, he's a ghost, you can't touch him? That's dumb. Alright, this is a fight to see who's a stronger character. Like, don't bitch at him. Number 3. Ichigo is not intangible. In fact, when he fought Karakura... Oh yeah. When he fought in Karakura Town, he was destroying buildings and other things. Whatever he got 1 through, of course. Well, of course, yeah. That's how that's just the Bleach versus version of ghosts. Like, fair point, whatever. But again, it still doesn't mean anything because I just said number 2 doesn't matter. So number 3, same answer as number 2. Doesn't matter. 4. Ichigo destroyed small mountains with waving his sword. It was not a small mountain. Just because it was just because it was like a little ways away doesn't mean it was little. Not to scale. It's not actually the size of Ichigo's torso. It's a fucking mountain. And also, he didn't destroy the mountain either. He fucking changed the landscape. He completely flattened that mountain with hardly moving his arm, by the way. I believe that in the anime, it shows him like swinging a little bit with his whole arm, but in the manga, between panels, he just sort of like adjusts his arm a little bit. Like it's much more subtle than it is in the anime. So it's like, yeah, he basically blocked an attack, and the force of his block when he wasn't trying changed the landscape of that fucking mountain. But yeah, waving the sword casually, except he did. Okay, Kinshiki casually cut in half the Shinju, and according to the data book, is a planetary divider. Madara withdrew his sword, divided several mountains in half. Even Toneri, with an imperfect Tenseiga, could split the moon in half. Okay, a couple of things to counter here. So Kinshiki did not casually cut. Alright? Fucking try me, alright? I watched that shit. That was not casual. He was in a hurry, he was freaking out, he was hurt. Dude, the only thing he could think of was like, I gotta go to Momoshiki right now. And, dude, if he could casually do that, why the fuck didn't he just fight Naruto? Like, he scared them all away, he could have chased them down. You saw how fast he was going. Frickin' dude, just jump up there, cut everyone away, frickin' basically teleport with how fast he was going over to Naruto, cut him in half. It's like, no. So not casual, but I will give you the fact that he is a planetary divider. I won't take that away from you. Okay, now before I move on, give me a second to restart recording, because I have a time limit. Ah, yes, random jump. Okay, so the second thing, Madara withdrawing his sword to divide several mountains in half. So the Madara thing is really interesting, because up until literally a couple minutes ago when I got a shower, I was thinking about it, and I was like, hold on, wait a minute. Yeah, Madara can withdraw his sword in Susanoo, and it cuts mountains in half on accident. But then I thought about it, and I was like, wait a minute. So if we use the measurements that they used in the video, which I'll give them this, the measurement of Las Noches' destruction is correct. Like, they weren't wrong about that, they just didn't scale it right. So, the thing about that is the transformation casually destroys freaking all of California. And if you don't know, California is a lot bigger than a fucking mountain. Alright. It's bigger than, like, a group of mountains. It's bigger than the entire area that Naruto and Sasuke destroyed with that giant hurricane and that amazing fight at the end of the series. I will give you that. Like, before I move on, I just want to say, I like Naruto. It's a good show. Like, everyone's like, oh, you're such an Ichitard. I'm like, no. I just defend who I think needs defending. I'm not as hard in Ichigo. I'm not as hard a Naruto fan as I am a Bleach fan, but I still like both of them. Okay, but moving on. So that means, yeah. And if you think that, oh well, it's just that freaking only the Espada's transformations can do that. No, they can't. See, that's an Espada using his transformation, and I'm guessing the Espadas can't really contain their Reishi, except Baragon and Holybell and I guess everyone else. Like, literally, I guess the only one that can't control it is, it's like the only one that can't control their transformation is Ulquiorra, because he's the only one that runs away to a different place so he doesn't destroy the surroundings with his transformation. But the thing about that is, the thing about destroying California is that's caused by a massive increase in Reishi that is uncontrolled, as is evidenced by the fact that everyone except for Ulquiorra was able to contain it, because had we used the same things, the fake Karakura town would be destroyed 3 times over, and also Las Noches would be destroyed about 100 times over, seeing as how Yami is really ridiculously fucking strong. It's bad how strong he is. I feel cheated, but but anyway, so you take that and you realize, well, it's just uncontrolled. Now the thing about Ichigo is, in his Mugetsu, in Dangai, real quick, Dangai is not Mugetsu. Mugetsu is the form where he uses the attack. Well, no, Final Getsuga Tensho is the form, Mugetsu is the attack. Dangai is the form preceding Final Getsuga Tensho. Now that you got all that sorted out, Dangai has much more Reishi than all of the Espada combined. And if you want to argue with me on this point, you can't, because he was destroying Aizen. And Aizen showed he can casually kick the shit out of Holybell in her Resurrection. Did he even use his sword? I'm pretty sure he did. If he did, correct me if I'm wrong, but I don't think he used his sword, but he still bitched Holybell, like, in one shot. So, I think it's safe to say that because he says he's disappointed with all the Espadas. So a safe bet is that he can beat every Espada in their full Resurrection at their max power with just his base form, including Yami. And I'm gonna say that Yami in his full power is the same as simply the top of Ulquiorra, just to be safe for this argument. So yeah, and Ichigo was fighting above Aizen. Like, that's how fucking strong he was. And this was after Aizen went through a transformation, a metamorphosis, another transformation, and then a final transformation. Well, no, not the final transformation. See, the final transformation actually put him on the same level as Ichigo. And then Ichigo went Final Getsuga Tensho, and he was like, damn, you can't sense it anymore. It's good. But, yeah. Also, so the California thing, yeah, so casual feats in this, well, it's not technical feats because it didn't happen. However, it was stated. It's a stated. Alright? So it's a stated, I guess you'd call it stated. But, so that destroys the point of Madara. Man, what am I, a friggin' manga raider? Madara, drawing his sword, dividing several mountains in half, is destroyed by the California thing. And Toneri with Imperfect Saga split the moon in half. Congratulations. That's pretty cool. The only thing that isn't defeated is Kinshiki cutting the Senju and him being a planetary divider. However, Kinshiki is not Naruto, nor is he Sasuke. Also, it wasn't Kenshiki, as I have asked. So, moving on. Number 5. There is not enough evidence to say that Hado number 90 was a black hole, even when it was using its Komamura cut. If it had been a black hole, I swear to God, I keep saying a black hole, he would have simply doubled it and disintegrated. No, that's not how black holes work. Black holes, as much as it, like any simulation would look like it, a black hole doesn't disintegrate things. A black hole pulls things in. Now, I actually thought about it a little bit, and I'm like, man, if you take 2 seconds to think about what Hado number 90 is stated to do, and then think about how it would work, you're like, hey, that actually kind of makes sense. So, let's say you get Komamura, and Komamura, don't get me wrong, Komamura is a very sturdy person. Like, he's a sturdy as hell character. The dude fought Kenpachi, and Kenpachi is Kenpachi. So there's no denying he's a damn sturdy character. But Hado number 90 is stated to act like a black hole. Now, the fact that it left cut marks, which weren't visible cut marks, they were more like bleeding wounds that were shaped like cuts, which I'll get to in a second. You can't just throw away the fact that they say it is a black hole. You can't throw that away. You have to take it. You can't say the source material is wrong if the source material states it, alright? And also proves it afterwards. Just, alright. Yeah, by the way, when I said prove it, yeah, he proved it by destroying the chair and the surrounding area like I don't know, at the end of the series, of course. Now, freaking black hole. So, imagine for a second you're inside of a giant box. Now, imagine that the walls of this box are not just black walls with weird cross things in it. Imagine that they are actually black holes. Or, more precisely, the entire box is a single black hole spread across that floor. Spread across. Now, the black hole pulls anything around it towards it. So, it would be pulling from all these different angles, thus pulling apart muscles, causing certain rip wounds. And since Komamura is a very sturdy character, he would of course be damaged, and he would have internal bleeding caused by all of the rupturing and pulling of the happening to his organs. And so he'd be bleeding out of the mouth, and he'd be bleeding out of several wounds. So it makes sense if you think about it like that, and if you still don't agree with me, you can't take away the fact that they say it is a black hole. If you want to be difficult about it, you have to take it as a black hole, which means it has infinite density. Boom, take that. Alright, number 6. Actually, no, we gotta do a music skip real quick. How would you like that? Now, number 6. Aizen's clamor was enough to make the arm. And Naruto without chakra used the what? I'm sorry? Semi-incompetent survived an explosion bigger than the din of Aizen. Okay, so what I've watched the video attached. What he's saying in this is Aizen's like 6 Grandeseros, like last thing, was weaker. Well, not weaker, was smaller than the Naruto explosion that Naruto survived in the last. Okay, so the thing about Naruto and that explosion is, yeah, he survived it, but he almost died. You can't take away the fact that he almost died. Like, Sakura's talking about it the whole time. She's like, yep. No. He got, like, super duper lucky. But even so, the last is nothing compared to Boruto and Naruto, which still doesn't matter. But so the whole thing about the Aizen Clamor debate. See, what the Clamor is, it, like, if you want to argue about me saying, it's not 6 Granary Ceros, fine, it's not 6, it's 12. Because that's basically what it is, it's charging up Ceros from 6 heads, and he turns them into a ring, and the ring explodes. Now, if you want to debate that this is not a supremely powerful move, then this is actually a good segue to talk about why scaling is important. Because some people in the comments tried to tell me, no, you should only use beats, because that's how you determine the win. Scaling is never a good thing to do. And I'm like, no. Scaling is always a good thing to do, especially when you have some precise measurements that have been given, and some very, very healthy assumptions that can be made. Now, if you want to argue that Aizen's ultimate move, the Clamor, was not a very powerful move due to how big it was, then allow me to point you to the thing where Ichigo casually batted away a mountain with air pressure from his sword. Now, mind you, whenever Aizen used the Clamor, he was on par with Ichigo's Dandan. So, saying that explosion wasn't more powerful, because honestly, that explosion wasn't really the size of a mountain. It was around like the size, like maybe half a mountain tall. It was a mountain tall. It wasn't a mountain wide. So saying that attack is like that attack is below mountain level, that's dumb. You can't say that. All right. This is why scaling exists, because we know that's not mountain level. That's just contained. But I know people are still going to argue with me in the comments saying I can't say that, blah, 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 this and that, this and that. But still, by the way, the fact that they both had to tank explosions like this, I feel like if you look at how both of them got hit, assuming that both explosions were the same strength, even though Aizen's with scaling is much more powerful, then you'd still have to give the edge to Ichigo, seeing as how he just traded his arm when he didn't need to either. Because he could have dodged it. We all know he could. I mean, he didn't do it. But come on. I'm not the only one that was upset that he didn't dodge that. Whatever. So yes, number 6. Resisted the Toneri sword in the face and left without a scratch. Okay, so he's talking about the moon cut. Okay, so in this scene, it is so obvious. He's talking about when Naruto is like looking at this moonbeam, and it's like cutting through the moon, and he disappears. I don't want to be this guy, but dude, it's so obvious that he just dodged it by going into the moon. I'm not saying he couldn't have tanked that attack, but arguably he couldn't, seeing as how later in the movie he punches through another attack instead of tanking it to wind up his fist. Because if you punch something exerting force, your punch is going to be stronger when it lands. It's going to be weaker when it lands. So there is no reason to do such a thing. Now, the whole thing you can see in the show, and it's even more obvious because Naruto starts pouring out from inside the freaking moon. Like, yeah, you want to say it was a shadow clone? Go ahead. You want to say he freaking got shot inside the moon, but he dodged the attack and he barely scraped by? Like, what happened? It's just, if you watch it, you look at the scene, you're like, no, he literally just dodged into the moon. And it was shown that he could punch through the moon. And due to how wide the Toneri's sword beam thingy, this friggin' Toneri's special beam cannon. Okay, we're back. Just a little bit of personal business. So that's the Toneri sword leaving without a scratch. That's that counter. Like, again, a better argument for why he dodged it would be that later, as I said before, later in the movie, he counters it by punching through it. However, if what you said before is true, then he could have just tanked it with his body instead of punching it with his fist. Like, he wouldn't have even needed to focus the cloak into his arm to deflect anything. He could have just gone in. Because as we all know, due to the laws of force, punching through something that has the strength of a great deal of nuclear warheads will decrease the strength of your punch. So, if you want to say that Ichigo or not Ichigo, that Naruto did it for the walls, then you're counteracting that like Naruto's smart. Because that's dumb. Alright. Number 8, counteracted the same attack that divided the finger with one hand. Okay, I'm just gonna point out one thing in this, because I already talked about it, number 7. With one hand, he put the entire cloak in one hand. And also he did that because it was, it was the smart thing to do. Because, I mean, shit, dude. If you had to block an attack, then what are you gonna use? Fucking 2 fists that are way too far away from each other, or 1 fist so you can block everything like you're holding a shield. But yeah. So with one hand, that doesn't really mean anything. So you see how he put all of the whole cloak into his hand, which is symbolizing his power. I don't care if he wasn't using like 6 paths or whatever. He was using the full power of the cloak, and he put the full power of the cloak into his hand. You can't tell me that he didn't. Alright. Number 9. Of a punch, he left a hole in the moon similar to the hole that Aizen left with its moment. Oh, okay. He's talking about when Ichigo, or not Ichigo, God. It's so hard to talk about this. So he's talking about whenever Naruto punched a hole in the moon. I mean, cool. Yeah, you didn't really know. Well, no, I can say you did. We already talked about the reason why the hole was that wide. Alright? Don't take that line out of context, guys. So, number 9 invalid due to number 6. Actually, yeah, due to number 4, number 9 is invalid. Number 10, Ichigo did not destroy Hell, just destroyed its doors. He's bringing up Hellverse. This point doesn't make any sense because we have no idea what the doors to Hell are made of, nor do we know how big Hell is, so this would really not help at all. So, also Hellverse is not dead. Moving on. Number 11. With just running, he lifted the Senju and several thousand tons of rock. Congratulations. That means nothing. If you want to argue with running force could do this, go for it. Guess what? If Ichigo let his Ryatsu run wild, it would destroy everything. Like everything within like a couple fucking 100 million mile radius, everything would be flat. And that's just from him standing still and not keeping his ratio check. Now, moving on. Number 12. I dodged a light fang inches from the face casually. Okay, I'll give you the fact that you dodged a light fang, Mr. Steven. But maybe Steven can dodge it casually, but fucking Naruto did not dodge that casually. You cannot watch that scene and say that was casual. Alright? That if you look at his face, look at it. If someone is casual, maybe people just don't understand what the emotion casual means. What casual means. It means without exerting effort. If you look at Naruto's face, he's fucking focused as shit. And also, the thing about movement, just a little token out to the kiddies in the audience who would like to learn a little more about science. It's much faster to move in between short distances than it is to move between long distances. Not for the obvious reasons. Oh yeah, well one's farther away than the other. No, for the reason that your legs don't have to extend very far. And you can say, yeah, well he was floating, but we can assume that flying is very similar to running and walking, as is in most animes and shows and shit. But yeah, you can't tell me that was casual. And even if it was, if you gave me a little bit, I could bring up numbers with Ichigo just fucking destroying light at the speed of light. I'm not going to because I'm lazy, but they're there, trust me. He's got a Bankai specifically made to make you fast. That's what his Bankai does. It compacts his Reishi, or his Ryatsu. I kept saying Reishi. Reishi is not what he has. He has Ryatsu. It condenses his Ryatsu to make him stronger and faster. And he runs so fast that he creates multiple after images, like, at a time. But he fucking moves that fast. And that's when he first got his Bankai. As soon as he got his Bankai, he dwarfed, like, literally everyone in Naruto. Not Naruto Shippuden, just Naruto. Everyone in Naruto was immediately crushed by his speed. Now, number 13. By the way, unless of course there was some dude that I didn't know that like freaking ran at the speed of Infinity in Naruto, the original series. Moving on. 13. Intimidated one of the most powerful villains just by looking at it. He's talking about pain, of course, which doesn't matter, seeing as how Ichigo has fought people with a much higher presence in Naruto. I mean, you can't argue that either. He fought too much. And you watch only started intimidating him after Ichigo realized all hope was lost. Because that's one of the things that Ichigo has going for him whenever people try to bring out the intimidation factors. It's that Ichigo isn't intimidated very easily. He is only intimidated by people who are insanely stronger than him. Ridiculously so. So that doesn't matter, wouldn't affect the outcome or anything, whatever. Moving on. Number 14, multiplied the power of Ichigo Dangai by 100,000 to give a much higher power than it should have. He's referring to the Screw Attack Death Battle thing. See, now the way the function they used was incorrect, per usual, but... Oh, shit, no. Almost played a fucking video, I hated that. Let me get back to the thing. Where'd it go? Alright. Oh, jeez, I apologize for that. Multiply the power, yeah. See, they used an improper formula. So, that was them trying to wank Ichigo. Which, if they really wanted to wank Ichigo, they could use the formula I'm going to use now, except change the numbers from low ball numbers to high ball numbers. And it just gets scary, alright? Now, number 15. Used nonsense power multipliers, that's the same point as number 14. Number 16, the power of Ichigo calculated is almost completely on the basis of speculation. Dude, I swear to God. He's bringing up the fact that if it would just beat Naruto would have won. And it's like, congratulations, you are Suki Kara. You can look at Ninja Shibuni on a fucking panel page and know what they are. I swear to God, I'm getting a little fucking sick and tired of all this shit about like, oh, just use beats. It's like, that's not how you pit characters against each other. You don't say, hey, look at what this character can do. You wanna know what that is? That's a base argument, alright? You wanna know what makes the fights interesting? Scaling. Scaling makes them interesting. Since you're not just like, oh, this guy can like blow up a mountain. Oh, this guy can blow up a couple more mountains. Alright, you gotta blow up a couple more mountains. It's like, no, that's boring. If you want to have a fucking fun argument, you bring up, like, interesting shit. It's like, this guy can blow up a mountain, this guy can blow up 3 mountains, but this guy who can blow up 1 mountain could do it when he wasn't using his 10-time multiplier. Just like, then you get some interesting shit. Then you get the guy with the other 3 mountains, he's got a multiplier over there. He's blah, back and forth, stated shit. It's tasty. And then you realize, wait a minute, maybe the fights are more interesting because they're not planet level. I swear to God, it's so simple. People just can't grasp it. I hate it. Alright. 17. Use the most powerful version of Ichigo, but not Naruto. The most powerful version of Naruto is that of the movie The Last, but using Sage of Six Paths, Kurama, and Cool? Don't judge me. Judge them. See, I didn't choose the Naruto, by the way. But I have been yelled a bunch of things about Naruto. And I've checked them to make sure they're lit, and most of the shit's pretty lit, but then they always yell this dumb shit about Ichigo, and I'm like, it's not lit, I don't know how to do this. stick to Naruto, I'll stick to Ichigo, and we can have a fun little diddly-do. We'll diddle each other, it'll be fun. But if you want to give me a nice number for how powerful frickin' the last, or no, not the last, freaking Boruto Naruto is, then please, by all means, give it right to me. Number 18. Naruto can create a large number of clones, each with a level almost equal to his own, so even the clones use the avatar of Kurama in all his abilities. See, the reason he doesn't make a bunch of clones of Kurama is because that's inefficient. The only time basically does it is when he's fighting something that's the size of a fucking small mountain. Like whenever he was fighting Sasuke. He made multiple because he could, because it was like normal shadow clones in that fight. It was a fight of titans. Now, bringing up the whole, like, oh, multiple Kuramas, congratulations. He shows this ability once, and he makes about 4 shadow clones. Yeah, that's pretty cool and all, and you can make the Ashura Kurama. Nice. I don't know. I don't know how to feel about this. Either way, it's the number 18, cool and all, but still doesn't change the fact you wouldn't do it because it's impractical. Number 19, Naruto is much smarter than Ichigo. Alright, so here we go. Okay, was able to save an army from Bijudama using Naruto's ability, along with Sasuke liberated Kakashi, cheated Uzaku, had a lot of experience in combat. Congratulations. Oh man, I love it when I'm not paying attention to my recording. Alright, cheated Kazuzu. Kakazu, oh my god, I feel so dumb now. Kakazu, who had a lot of experience in combat. Okay, congratulations. If you want to get combat experience, it immediately goes to Ichigo, because Ichigo has fought Kenpachi, and Kenpachi is the fucking god of combat. It is shown throughout the show that he is the god of combat. And if you want to say he's not, then that means Byakuya is the god of combat. He has defeated Byakuya before when he was weak. He's also been able to fucking fight. Well, I don't know if I would use this or not, but he did fight Yhwach. And Yhwach wasn't toying with him the whole time. He was kind of going with Yhwach whenever he first uses Shikai and didn't go hollow. He was kind of doing it. It was pretty good. But yeah, that's pretty cool. Still, the whole intelligence thing. Congratulations. Discovered the only weakness of Obito, and what's more incredible, was able to fool Black Zetsu, the smartest character in the series. Cool. I mean, that's cool and all, but the thing about intelligence that people don't think about is intelligence is one of those factors that come in whenever the characters are basically equal in every other category. Because if one character is smarter than the other, then you can come up with a logical conclusion for why they would win. However, the power difference in these two characters makes it where intelligence doesn't matter. Number 20. Oh, Finally, the reason why I think Ichigo, not spelled with a capital letter, does not have any chance is because of the abilities of each one. Naruto can increase his defense to a great extent with his avatar and his Kuradamas. He can increase his speed and physical strength by boiling his chakra. He could increase his attack and defense power by concentrating all of his chakra into one part of his body. He could seal it with the Sand Rasengan. He could disintegrate it with the Kuradamas. I don't know what it is though. He has powerful attacks in the short, medium, and long range. Basic jutsus like the jutsu substitution and transformation very effective because Ichigo has never seen them. Not to mention that he lacked experience using the skills of the Biju, and without a doubt, now he could better handle the skills of the Bijus. I mean, so, here's the thing about this whole comment, this whole point right here. So number one, finally the reason why he thinks they won't have a chance is because of the abilities. Naruto can increase his defense to a great extent with his avatar and Gudamas. Now, Ichigo has Blood Vein and his skin is just normally that hard. Like, there was this whole thing where they went into the Espadas and they were like, the Espadas can tank all of these attacks because their skin is incredibly tough. And Ichigo has shown that he is partially hollow, so the same logic applies to him, seeing as how he can stop swords with his fucking skin. And I wouldn't even use Blood Vein because it's not very good with Blood Vein. He was only shown using it once. Now, he can increase his speed and physical strength by boiling his chakra. Ichigo can increase his speed and physical strength by using his Bankai, by a much higher extent than Naruto. He could increase his attack and defense power by concentrating all of his chakra into one part of his body. Well beings. He can counter that by just focusing against potential. Which is like the whole deal about what I've been saying about Bleach, is that their attacks are condensed. Alright? Alright? Now, another one. He could not seal it. He could seal him with the Sand Sing. Except he would break out of it because he broke out of the Quincy jail. And the Quincy jail is ridiculously fucking strong. And you could say, yeah, he broke out of it because it was Quincy. And so he used a tiny bit of Quincy power. But that doesn't change the fact that he still needs a decent amount of strength as a Quincy to break out of that. And I have no doubt in my fucking mind it's stronger than sand. Like, even if it's chakra-filled sand, it's still stronger. He could disintegrate it with the Gudamas. Okay, the Gudamas, about that, the Gudamas require contact in order to do that. And that's an argument for another day. No, it's an argument for the day, my bad. Because the Gudamas require contact. And then the argument has to be argued, can Naruto actually touch Ichigo? And my answer is no. Okay. Ichigo would be... he's very fast. We all know Ichigo's very fast. Alright? Now, imagine these tiny little balls. We know what they can do. If they touch a person, the person disintegrates immediately. It's pretty cool. I could bring up the point that it disintegrates them because of the form of chakra in their body by rejecting all of them, all that shit, just having 5 different wavelengths. And I could bring up the fact that Ichigo doesn't really contain chakra since he's from a different universe and the laws of that and the laws of the Naruto-verse don't apply to him. So he would be immune to the Gudamas. Gudodamas? I don't fucking know. The black balls of death. Truth-seeking orbs. That's what he's talking about, the truth-seeking orbs. If I'm getting that right, I don't know. But I could use that, or I could just say that Ichigo was too fast, and also wouldn't get hit by them. And you can't say that the truth-seeking orbs could stop against contention. They can't. Especially not Naruto's. Naruto's truth-seeking orbs are far too small. And he's shown that to the extent of his chakra, he can make it into those things. Which is pretty lit. I mean, I don't remember him ever making a shield. I don't know if he's that good. He probably made a shield. I don't know. I'd have to look back. But to the extent he can make them about as big as a body, and it is shown that they can't just disintegrate anything they touch if they're normal sized, especially not freaking energy, right? Well, yeah, no. Especially not energy. Friggin' it deflects energy. Most of the time, whenever they're fighting, they deflect the energy. And it's like, oh, but that's because of their senjutsu in it. It's like, cool. the argument they made in Death Battle is that Senjutsu is the same thing as friggin' Reishi, or Ryatsu, or whatever the hell they want to call it, spiritual pressure. And then I could just say, well, boom, spiritual pressure. It deflects the freaking Jusei force. But either way, the Kudamas, that's a piss poor argument. And it's also one of those things that I wouldn't rely on, seeing how it's a bitch move. It's like, oh, no, Ichigo wins because he got some instant kill move. Alright, moving on. He has powerful attacks in short, medium, and long range. I mean, Ichigo does too. He has a powerful attack in short, medium, and long range against Potential. It is shown that he can do it from any range whatsoever, and it still retains strength, no matter what. Now, another thing, basic jutsus like jutsu substitution or transformation would be very effective because Ichigo has never seen them. Not to mention that he lacked experience using the skill. Now he's talking about Naruto, even though he didn't choose sentences. Oh, Jesus, it hurts to read this. Oh, that burned hot dog I ate earlier is making me back up in Alright, another jump in time. So, the argument about substitution jutsu, I don't think you'd be too surprised. He's had people disappear on him before. Like, he's also dealt with teleportation, by the way, and he was hardly even fazed by it. Another thing is the transformation jutsus. Naruto doesn't know anyone that Ichigo knows. So you can't just say Naruto. If you want to use the transformation argument, then you can't say that he'll transform into Orihime, because Naruto doesn't know who Orihime is. Therefore, he can't transform into her because he needs to know who that person is to transform into them. Therefore, he can only transform into one of the other people. And even then, he would still need to summon the Truth-Seeking Orb and all of his power. The transformation would be pointless because he'd still have to show off all of the power, and Ichigo would just resume the fight as if it's just one of those things where your instincts like, yeah, just call it. Not to mention, yeah, and the lack of experience of the Biju and better handle the skills of the Biju. Interesting point for Naruto. Honestly, it can't be argued though, because we haven't seen anything. Like past the freaking final war arc, we've seen absolutely nothing of Naruto. All we have are the statements, which I'll let you use the statements, but still, fiction. Like, there's no freaking nice thing to go off. It doesn't work. Alright. Well, that's all 28 of your points, Steven Jimenez. I hope you enjoyed that. I responded to your points. Feel free to try to slap me. I don't know. Another thing. Well, let's look at another comment. So, Monkey D. Toby. Alright, you know this is Naruto. Oh, and I'm not judging because of the name Toby in there. I'm just saying, you know, you can tell. I mean, even the picture. I don't like it. Your response for Naruto healing factor is Ichigo is tougher. Ha ha ha. Wow. You're pathetic. ... And I, not capitalized, doubt you have seen Naruto. Period, space, not capitalized. This is not a debunk. It's no apostrophe, it's just Bleach fans crying. And I replied respectively with saying, yes, very nice. So your point, you're gonna prove me wrong or something? Because right now you just sound like a stuck-up Naruto. And then my good friend Eyeless Tiger is like, be careful, he may just tell you to kill yourself and provide no argument because he'll say it's not required. And so I thanked him for saving my skin. Alright. Moving on. Another thing was this genius of a man who said, hold on. Hold up. Give me a second. New comment. Didn't get an update on it. Chapter 344 through 45 states that as far as 4 and up is the power of justice for cells. Grimjaw did number 6, and the restoration on this thing. So chapter I'm sure I'll destroy it. Okay, so let me point out. So here's this guy, Nico Ranjo. He says you messed up a lot on a lot of your calculations for Ichigo, mate. As far as espadas go, it's only people 4 and higher that can destroy Luz Noche with their Gran Vero, and just by transforming, the energy released is enough to destroy it. Ha ha ha. Okay, and then some genius parent joins in with saying, haha, I'm so, oh man, the Bleach fan's crying, don't even know Ichigo's form. That's hilarious. And then he joins in saying like, oh, they don't even know how to do this, blah, blah, blah. And everyone apparently is complaining that they missed the Pasto Mordes form whenever they did the calculation. Cool. But it doesn't matter. So, I replied with the obvious answer. It is stated that any espada can destroy Las Noches with a Gran Recero, but 4 and above are the ones that can destroy it just by using the Resurrection. That was the deal. That was like the thing they did to make it seem like 4 and above was where shit got real. Because it was like, oh yeah, everyone can destroy Las Noches with the Gran Recero. But what if I told you, if these guys just release their strength, without containing it, of course, then it'll just destroy Las Noches. Yeah. But, yeah, I said he should really not make himself out to be an asshole, not making an argument for shit, and he replied with saying, check your shit, mate, chapter 344 and 345, Monkora states that espadas 4 and up are forbidden to release their power under Las Noches, and espadas are not allowed to use Gran Receros under it. But Grimmjow did. Number 6, even released his Resurrection, never stated that his Resurrection would destroy Las Noches. And whenever he used his Gran Recero, he was in his base form and holding back. It is visible, it's visible, it's vocal, he talks about it, he's taunting Ichigo the entire time, and everyone, including number 3, is freaking out about why he used it. That's why he doesn't use it again. Everyone's like, yo, freaking Grimmjow needs to calm down right now before he blows up everything. Did you not read it? So, yeah, check your shit, man. But, yeah, Nico Ranjo, a genius in our time. Moving on to another point. Someone pointed out the math for the full area of the square. And he says like, yeah, the center building looks more like a square. In my opinion, it still looks like a friggin' circle, because I don't really count the pillars. But I'll admit that I kind of just looked at it because they do like these visuals. They move by really fast. And I'm like, dude, you gotta slow down so I can read this shit and make sure you're doing everything right. But yeah, that's pretty good. Hold on. Shit. Yeah, but now, speaking of the measurements, let's get into my final thing that I'm gonna do in this video. So, here's something that I'm gonna learn you all something. Alright? Just give me a second, we're gonna do a little pause. Alright, nice. Different, slightly smaller screen probably. So, now we get to go over my favorite portion of the show, whenever I calculate how powerful Ichigo's actually is by lowballing numbers. Okay, so let's take the number that they used, which is blowing up California. So let me go to my nice handy-dandy old megaton calculator. It's a nuclear force calculator. The size of the circle, of course. Perfect for these types of measurements. Fire that calculator. number that I found was like 51000, maybe. No, just a little bit too much. Back. 100. 150. 250. Okay, so the number I'm going to use is 550 megatons, which the total area of destruction is 398.5 kilometers in radius, and it's a pretty big shark. Alright, so we're going to start off with 5,500 megatons of TNT. Now, something we should state before we get started, the lesson that I'm about to teach you is how we measure tons of force in bombs. You start off with kilotons, then you move up to megatons, then you move up to gigatons. Now, to give you an example of how strong kilotons are, the bomb dropped on Hiroshima, little boy, that was 15 to 18 kilotons of TNT. Kilotons means 1,000 pieces of TNT per ton. So that's 15,000 to 18,000 tons of TNT being dropped on Hiroshima. And it caused that much destruction. Now, megatons, mega is 1 million TNT per pick. So, this number I just gave you is 5,500 million tons, or if you want to get specific about it, 5,500,000,000 tons of TNT. But yeah, just saying, that's stronger than the strongest bomb ever predicted. Because the strongest bomb ever predicted in this world is 500 megatons. Moving onward. So, we start off with 5,500. So, I'll be nice and lowball this measurement, and we'll start with Espada number 6, just because I know people are going to bitch at it. So, Grande Zero. This is what we're using. This is the force of a Grande Zero. And I know people are going to argue, oh, but number 6. Alright, hold on. I'm really uncomfortable. Let me set this up somewhere. No. Alright. There we go. That's much better. I can see it right now. Now, we're going to start off with Grimmjow in his Resurrection. So, normal force times 10, because Resurrection is stated to be a Bankai, and Bankai is times 10. So now that's 55,000 megatons. Now, let's multiply that by 2 to equal the base form of Minotaur. And that's being respectful, by the way. Like, really lowballing here. You know what? Just to make sure no one complains, it's going to be 1.5 times stronger. Then times 10 again, because Resurrection. And then, just for the lulz, it's going to be times 0.75 for Opioid base form, so that we don't have anyone complaining that Minotaurus, like Resurrection, is stronger than Opioid base form. So now we're at 618,750 megatons of TNT from a full power Grande Zero. Now, let's take this and multiply by 10. Since that's what we love doing here. And then we multiply by 10 again. Now, we have 61 billion 61 million, my bad, not billion. 61,875,000 megatons of TNT. Ooh, it's great. But that's not all. because I'm not trying to scale to Vasto Lorde, which at the minimum is ×2. I'm trying to scale to Mugetsu, Mugetsu. No, I'm gonna scale to Dangai just to be safe. So here's the thing about this number right here. Aizen is stronger than all of the S5 in his base form. So holification. Let's have a little discussion about holification real quick. Holification is the thing that Ichigo does, where he puts the mask on. That's technically holification. And it can be accepted that holifying gives you a ×10 increase. Now, we're going to say that the cocoon form was a ×3, and then the shattered cocoon gave the other 7 times, but we're just going to add that together and say it's 10, so I don't have anyone yelling. So that's 10 off of base Aizen. So, yeah, well, we'll say that base Aizen, which is Ulquiorra. Well, no, I can't do that yet. I have to go back. Aw, dang it. Divide that by 10. There we go. Alright, so first of all, let's say base Aizen is about 3 times stronger than full power Ulquiorra, who should be about equal to full power Yami. And that's still lowballing because he absolutely annihilates Holido. Like, just bad. Now ×10 for the, shattered thing. And now, let's go times roughly 4. Because whenever he did his second to last, like whenever he did his butterfly transformation, Yin was terrified. Like, absolutely in horror. Not only at the fact that he failed to kill the one dude he said he would kill, but also because he's become insanely more powerful. And it's a bad situation all around. So I think we can settle for 4. And remember, this is all lowballing, by the way. So then you've got this. But there's one more thing we have to do. We have to figure out what the final transformation is. Now, Aizen could not even sense Ichigo's power whenever he was fighting in this form. I'm going to super lowball this last transformation and say it was ×3. Even though there's no way in hell that ×3 would put him on par, I'm still going to use it just to lowball. So, now we have the power of Dankai Ichigo using a full power attack. Now, this number right here is a beautiful number. Do you want to know why? Because it's 22,275 billion. Oh, it's beautiful. I love numbers. Have I ever told you that? Now, let's multiply this by 10 for Bankai. And then let's multiply by another 10 for holification. Boop. And then you have Ichigo at full power, end of series, low roll. And it's 222. Actually, let me count this version. Million. Wait, what? 100,000. Hold on, I need to pull up the numbers. Okay, I got the number. So the number that they gave Ichigo was 440,924,000,000 megatons of force. End series Ryatsu output. Now, my number spells out a different story, sadly. I know some of you are going to be a little upset. 100,000 2,227,500,000,000 megatons of TNT. Now, let me zoom ahead and
megatons of
see what he survived. 27 trillion megatons. That's what he survived. However, he almost died to it, of course, but we're gonna ignore that, of course. But here's the thing. There's still one more calculation I need to use. Yeah, you probably haven't thought about it. See, here's something that many people don't get about the Muget's attack. Is an attack. It's not like it's not a form. It's an attack. Final Getsu Tensho is a form, but it's a multiplier for a Getsuga Tensho. That's all it does. Now, before I get into this last point, I would want to point out that this is a Getsuga Tensho. Just one. 2 trillion. They stated Naruto was capable of tanking all of his chakra, blah 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 blah. Friggin'. Hold on. Wait a minute. Uno momento. Okay. I just saw something that actually made me comfortable on the inside. They said generously scaling Mugens would be not even twice as strong as the normal Getsuga Tensho. And that's not how it works. Not at all. But so that's one Getsuga Tensho. And as we all know, all of us Bleach fans know, he does not throw out one. He throws out a lot. In fact, in his Shikai form, he can throw out one and then add the power of the second one onto it. And he can also mix in a Gran Reisero with his Getsuga Tensho. And it's just horrible. It's awful. It's bad. And so, if 27 trillion is his durability, then that's 2 trillion, 2.25, that's 2.2275 trillion per hit. And noting how fast Ichigo is, it's going to fall apart real soon. Now, let's do an accurate scale of how strong Mugetsu is. So let's take a full power, full power Getsuga Tensho. Now, the full power Getsuga Tensho is not twice as strong. The Mugetsu is not twice as strong as the Getsuga Tensho. That is horseshit, and you better not ever believe it. Ever. Hell, if I really wanted to, I could debate it was 50 times stronger, but I'm not going to say that because it's still lowball. Now, let's go ahead and say that it is times. Let's still be not generous at all. No, let's be incredibly generous, as according to what Death Note says. Let's say it's a times 4 multiplier. Well, 8.91 trillion megatons of TNT. Oh, and for those of you who want to know how much destructive force this would cause, let's pop this into the calculator real quick. Oh, look at that. Let me plug this into this calculator over here. Hey, come on. Come on, guy. 3. Ah, shit, hold up. Alright, why did I say square? Oh man, kill myself. Just give me a tiny bit of time, alright? I'm a little busy. I get it. Don't worry about it. Okay, so I just got the area of destruction for the Mugetsu. Just in case anyone was wondering, the rest of this video is basically just for the lulz, so don't worry about it. So, the area of Alaska, the entire area of the largest state in the US, which is Alaska, sadly it is not Texas, is 1.72 million kilometers square. That is not enough. The Mugetsu has, I'm not going to reveal the whole number, but it has over 100 million square kilometers. So let's move on to a bigger object, shall we? How about the area of China? Xi'an, China. 9.6 million, still not enough. How about the area of Russia? The biggest country. 17.10 million kilometers square. 10 times the size of Alaska, just about. That's pretty respectable. However, still nowhere near what we've got. How about the area of Asia? Yeah, that should be good enough, right? Asia. 44.58 million kilometers square. Nowhere near enough. Area of... Hell, why don't we just get the surface area of the Earth? $510.07 million kilometers square. That's nice. That's a pretty nice number. However, it's still nothing. We need something bigger. How about the area of the sun? Why not? Alright. Area in square kilometers. Let's check this number out. Holy shit, for a second there, I was looking at this measurement and I was like, holy shit, is Jupiter bigger than the sun? Fuck, I forgot. But no, the sun has 2 more exponents on it than Jupiter does. So that's going to be 6.88. 6088. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Do-do-do. Comma. Do-do-do-do. 4. Comma. 1, 2, 3, 4. Comma. Alright. 100. 1,000. 1 million. 1 billion. 1 trillion. Alright. I think we've hit the cap. 100, 1,000, 1 million, 1 billion, 1 trillion. Alright, the surface area of the sun is 6 trillion kilometers square. The surface area of this attack is 17 trillion. This attack can destroy the surface area of the sun. Yeah, that's a lot. And remember, this is all just downscaling. Like lowballing. Awfully lowballing. Now remember, stay in school, kids. Don't be too rude in the comments. Remember, don't make yourself come off as an Naruto. Because trust me, I'm not a freaking Ichitari or whatever you want to call it. I'm not that. Trust me. If I was, you would know. Because I'd be going way off the rails with this whole discussion. Like, fuck Naruto. Oh, it's such an awful thing. It's like, no, alright? I'm a respectable human being, treat me like one. I'll see you in the comments, I guess. Like, comment, nah, you don't even have to like, just comment, subscribe, all that good jazz.